If you're thinking of letting someone go, there's a number of different considerations to look at. We get a lot of employers that reach out to discuss a termination situation, and for good reason. They're not fun to do, and in general, your risk goes up. Even one misstep in the termination process can cost an organization thousands. It's not only in legal fees or a potential claim, but it also can be damaging to the company's reputation and, of course, the impact to team morale. A bad termination is like pulling a fire alarm instead of using the door. If you don't prepare and look at all angles, it can be really loud, chaotic, and cause way more damage than necessary. So let's get into it and let's uncover how to do it the right way. The first component to consider is the notion that we're an at-will state, so it's okay. We often hear employers cite this, and while it's true, yes, most employment is at will, it doesn't necessarily mean you fire at will. You still have to avoid legal reasons for termination, and you still want to document the reasons that support why you're making that decision. It could be things like discrimination or retaliation from a legal standpoint, or maybe even interfering with protected rights. There's FMLA, like a leave of absence, or some accommodation things to any type of medical situation. So the golden rule is, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. Keep clear records of performance issues. You want to document any warnings that you might take place and actions that are taken. It provides a paper trail and it makes it easier to demonstrate and prove the reason for the termination. The second consideration is preparation. Plan it out. Before the meeting, review the performance history. Make sure that you're applying policies and practices consistently. If it is a performance problem, review the metrics. Is there a performance warning on record? And what about documented feedback or reviews? Sometimes you'll have a review on record that's pretty recent, and the feedback is it meets or exceeds all expectations. So unless something substantial just occurred, all that previous performance records will do is it will contradict your reason for separation. Another scenario might fall under behavior issues. Maybe they're not a team player, or it's a code of conduct policy issue, maybe even attendance. Whatever the reason, make sure that you're consistent. You're applying the practices consistently and it aligns with your policies. Be sure to talk to HR or, if needed, maybe even legal. Decide who should be in the room. We often recommend a manager and HR, so having two people present. And choose a location that's private and it's respectful. Another piece to consider is the various state laws. A lot of employers nowadays will operate in multiple states. Some states require immediate payment of final wages, states like Colorado and Massachusetts. If there's a PTO policy in place, be sure to check if the state requires any remaining balances to be paid. And another component would be the notification requirements. You've got a state like New York, for example, that require employers to provide a notice to employees at separation. So here's the tip. Never wing it. You need a script, you need a plan, and definitely have a witness. Consideration number 3, the termination meeting. When it's time for the conversation, be clear and concise. Before you even begin to discuss the termination with the employee, pay attention to your tone and body language. Obviously, this isn't a time to be upbeat or happy. Sometimes leaders get too serious and it's almost intimidating. You want the employee to leave with dignity and also feel respected. Don't argue, don't explain too much. Now's not the time to start from the beginning and recap all the different performance issues or problems. Just communicate that the decision has been made and focus on the logistics. That's things like final pay, their PTO payout, or COBRA and benefits. It might sound something like, as you're aware, we've previously discussed performance concerns and have made the determination that we'll need to move in another direction and separate your employment effective today. I have Steve in HR here, and he'll discuss some of the important items such as your final pay and benefits. And then that's where you just move into the logistics, like mentioned before. So COBRA, address, and verifying that. What about company returning equipment and property? Remember, it's not easy for anyone, but treating people with dignity and professionalism will matter. If you can shake their hand as they leave, that's even better. To wrap it all up, here are your 3 golden rules for terminations. Number 1, know the laws, not only federal laws, but also the state laws that apply. Number 2, document everything. And number 3, Handle it with respect. If you're unsure, don't go at it alone. As HR consultants, we help businesses handle difficult terminations the right way, minimizing your risk and keeping it professional.
For more answers to your HR-related questions, or to learn more about how we can help you with HR, compliance, and employment law needs, visit our website at hrserviceinc.com or give us a call at 833-685-8400, extension 2.